Good evening, everyone. Oh, there is an echo. Good evening, everyone. This is Commander 401, and welcome to my channel. And boy, we have a very special show for you and a very special panel. May I introduce Mippet? Say something, Mippet.
Say something. I did say something.
And
hi, guys. How are we doing?
And we got Skit Scratcher.
Hey, everybody. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
And the Drunk Monkey.
Yeah, the fucking Drunk Monkey's here. We're doing UFOs, right? Isn't that like unidentified figments of idiots' imagination or something?
Close enough.
That'd be UFOs. UFOs.
Unidentified
figments of idiots' imagination. So it should be UFO-II, really.
Yes. And we've got a very special first start for this. I think everyone will find it. Oh, God. So nervous. I think everyone will find it interesting. So without further ado, we're going to start this shit.
Buried Ukraine space ark in Kherson began activating, so Russia takes over an entire city and region for the first time in its special military action.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
And here's someone.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's the way everyone feels right now.
Very relatable.
Shall we continue with this
more
bullshit?
like than aliens?
You could do, right? But I'll tell you a quick story because that's quite fucked up that fucking thing was on a drone. My mate thought she saw a fucking UFO and it was caught on camera. And basically it was a drone, but you know, if you're not really thinking like a normal person would just think fucking clearly about something, you see a little smudge in the air and it's got to be a fucking UFO. Well, I mean, obviously it's unidentified if you can't fucking work it out for yourself, but it doesn't mean it's a fucking alien, does it?
No, it doesn't. Occam's razor, simplest explanation, often the correct one, but when did these idiots ever come out of their holes to shave?
News reports have confirmed that the Russian army has captured the Ukrainian port city and region of Kherson, where an ancient space ark is claimed to be buried. According to two independent sources, the space ark is buried under Oleshki Sands National Nature Park, which is only 25 kilometers or 15 miles east of Kherson. The space ark is said to be activating and predicted to eventually begin flying into the air. Kherson is strategically important to the Russian military as it contains a freshwater canal to the nearby Crimean Peninsula, which is the only warm water port of the Russian Navy. Russia's capture of Kherson is vital for ensuring the long-term viability of its Crimean facilities, but also fulfills a new strategic imperative to gain access to and control the alleged space ark.
So what actually is a warm, what did he say, a warm port?
Well, warm water port, that means it doesn't freeze over in the winter and you can bring ships in there all year round. Because Russia kind of sucks.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of.
Well,
Kind
not
of
just
sucks.
kind
I
of.
think you've underestimated the kind of sucks. No, it fucking sucks. It sucks ass.
God, I actually pity those poor bastards we're going up against. By God, I do. We're not just going to shoot the bastard. We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tank. We're going to murder those lousy bastards by the bushel. Give me the word, and I'll kick their behinds back into Russia where they belong.
Sounds very Patton-esque.
Well, that is Patton.
Oh, very good then.
That's what we need. The grubby is here to fight.
Here to slay.
Yeah, and if you think this video can't get any more ridiculous, just wait.
Told about the Ukraine space arc by my longtime source, JP, who currently serves in the US Army and has been on covert missions to 2 other space arcs. One mission was to the moon, and 2 others have been to the Bermuda Triangle area of the Atlantic Ocean. All 3 missions were jointly conducted by the US and China, and the second Atlantic Ocean mission included Russia, which had found its own arc but was not giving the US access. On February 11, JP gave me coordinates to a space arc he was told exists in Ukraine. The coordinates are for Oleshki Sands, which
I have to stop that. Let's go back to the fucking Trade Federation, for crying out loud.
Sorry, I just got to bring this up. A space arc. Does that mean the fucking aliens came on 2 by 2?
I think that's what it means.
Yeah, that's where they abduct the people too. They beam them up like Scotty does.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Later on in the video, there is alleged teleportation technology. So why isn't Putin dead?
Look, he probably is dead. Just that, like, you know, there's so many of lookalikes. I mean, have you seen the one on TikTok? The actual Putin on TikTok looks better than Putin. He looks more real than Putin. The TikTok Putin, he's fucking brilliant. And he's funny as well. Whereas, like, you know, the so-called real Putin, if that is the real fucking Putin, we'll never know because there's probably about 58 of them out there. Really is a fucking boring bellend. And I'll tell you what, if TikTok Putin was running the country, be a much happier world, trust.
What's happiness though, monkey? Come on. Is there ever going to be world peace?
No, of course not.
Probably not.
No.
Because there are too many people who love stirring the pot.
After we're all dead, maybe.
Exactly.
This access. On February 11, he gave me coordinates to a space arc he was told exists in Ukraine. The coordinates are for Oleshki Sands, which is the only natural sand desert in Ukraine and has long been a tourist attraction. The origins of the sandy desert have puzzled geologists, and there has been speculation that it is a result of historical overgrazing by sheep. JP later described what he was told about the Ukrainian space arc in briefings and by others participating in the covert missions to ancient arcs.
Woo, it's flying!
Arcs being found all over our solar system and on Earth. On February 24, he left me the following voice message describing his new intel about space arcs being found in Russia and Ukraine.
Remember I was telling you about the arc, how there was Russians surrounding the ship that we were on. They really wanted this information. That's why they went down to the arc with us. We gave them the opportunity to come down. We didn't have no problem, bringing the Russians and sharing information. We knew that this was huge. This is worldwide huge.
Hold on. So you're telling me this dude can't be reading off a script?
And of course, like, he supposedly works for the government. They've got resources, but his audio is shit.
Let's just believe any shit he says. Because
Well, let's face it, we all work for the fucking government or Illuminati or some bullshit like that. I just fucking wish they'd start paying me. I keep getting accused for working for the bastards, but like no one actually gives me any money. And I thought that was the whole point of working for someone, was to get a fucking crust.
Exactly.
Absolutely. You see this? I am a Jewish space penguin who can, and we control the world, right?
Fair.
Hey, I'm a dragon.
And I
so
haven't seen a
fucking- I've been
goddamn
around
red
since
cent for all of
eternity.
my nefarious shit.
Yeah, it's just, a story, bro, my cousin totally, saw an alien and it was totally an alien. It is no more believable if your friend, is a colonel in the Russian military or sitting on Congress. It's still just a drunk uncle saying they saw something.
I love you. Thank you so
You get a lot of that, don't you? Drunk people seeing shit. I mean, I took on a pub in London, right? That this pub, I know we're going a little bit off topic, but I'll be quick. This pub basically was where they used to take people before they were executed and hung in Hyde Park. They used to come to my pub. Obviously, not when I had the pub. I mean, I'm going back a few hundred years here, but they used to take them and give them their last meal, then take them to Hyde Park and hang them. And I used to get all these pissheads that were drunk out of their skulls going, yeah, this place is haunted, I've seen ghosts. And I'd be like, you sure you've really seen a ghost though, or are you just smashed?
For real.
And of course, when I was on Vyvanse and I lost 50 pounds, but I was on the same dose, I was actually seeing stuff all over the place that wasn't there and focusing on patterns. So substances will do wonders for making shit up.
Oh, they will. I mean, like, in Wales, especially this time of year, you can get these things, they're called mushrooms, right? And when you eat them, you see all kinds of funky shit.
Delicious.
Yeah, they are actually all right, I don't know why people make them into tea. I mean, who wants magic mushroom tea when you can just have mushrooms? Just have the mushrooms. And mushrooms, just eat the fucking things. You don't need to make a cup of tea. Although my friend's dad, John, he came down when we had made magic mushroom tea, and he came down and made himself a quick cup of tea before he went to work at 6 a.m. And he milked it and sugared it and said it tasted disgusting, but downed it anyway. And when he came home that night, I wasn't there because it was my mate's dad, but when he came home that night, he actually said, wow, I have had the weirdest day of my life at work. I don't think he ever knew that he was on magic mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, what can you do? But yeah, they grow this time of year. Very nice. So yeah, probably around this sort of time is when people see more UFOs. Must be a link there somewhere. Don't know if it's just magic mushrooms or
all hallucinogens.
Yeah, I think yeah, all of them. Yeah, but this time of year, a lot of UFOs, this time of year.
I was going to say, but we had a case in the last couple of weeks where there was a family sat down to dinner. Four of them died because there was mushrooms in the poisonous mushrooms got mixed in with their food.
Shit.
And yeah, so 4 dead. And apparently they're still trying to work out whether, the mother who cooked the meal knew what she was doing or didn't know, or whether someone else put it in, or, it's all this big dramas-y shit stuff. So
yeah.
When was this?
It was in the last couple of weeks. Like, yeah.
What?
There are mushrooms that you can eat in Europe that if you find them in America or something that looks like them, you can't eat them. So they look the same, but different continent is a different species and is deadly.
Yeah, but there are a few key ways to tell whether a mushroom is edible or not. and that is obviously the they call it the gills. I mean, they for a start have to be not white. If they're white, then they're lethal. But you also need to dig the mushroom out, and if there's a bulb on the bottom on the base of the mushroom when you dig it out, then it's poisonous. And there's something else as well. There's another thing you have to look out for. Oh yeah, and if it has like a type of gill on the stem, sort of at some point in the stem, then don't eat that one either, unless you want really bad guts ache and then you want to kick the bucket.
In general, don't eat mushrooms that you find in the wild.
For sure.
Unless you really know what you're doing, or you got that.
I was just going to say, unless you know which ones you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I knew what I was doing, I still wouldn't trust myself.
I don't eat mushrooms of any sort. I just give them to other people and
watch them die.
No. I know what's what. I'm not silly. I grew up in the country. I mean, what else is there to do?
Unidentified mushrooms.
Unidentified flying mushrooms.
Yeah, that's the one.
Want to continue?
Yeah, see what more shit this guy's got fucking whack onto the net.
No, but they did not keep their side of the promise by not taking us to their ark. But now, with this happening in Ukraine, that ark that is over there, I guess they want that information for them. And we were about to roast that ark. Don't be surprised that they started that excavation in that Oshashki Desert National Park, and probably this could be one of the first ships to go up in the air, and everybody see now that the nation in the world is on Ukraine. This probably is going to be one of the first ones that's going to go up, and everybody's going to see, and everything's going to stop to a halt. Everybody's going to be shocked because of this.
Jay.
Oh, and interestingly, everyone, we used this video on the shills more than a year ago, and no fucking space ark wound up lifting itself into the air in front of the entire world. Go figure.
Gasp. Shock.
Wow.
I reckon there might have been a couple of people here and there that might have claimed to have seen it, because there's always one, isn't there? Or two, or fucking several idiots.
Yeah, it might have been someone throwing a silver frisbee in the air. There's our proof.
Like
that
what
UFO
time?
that you sorry.
I was just, what time frame was this happening? Like all supposedly occurring? Is this modern day or like World War II?
This video was put out by some douchebag back in, I think it was March or April, somewhere in around there of 2022, believe it or not.
Oh wow, so recent. Okay.
And for some strange reason, the ark that they say is there hasn't fucked off into the air yet.
So it's
Please
like
revelate.
reminiscent of Hitler, going after all the crazy mythical stuff. I just wonder if like Putin's going after his version thereof.
Shouldn't this
It
be
wouldn't
called?
surprise me. The Starsky said the FSB and the KGB people, even though they're like not religious, they're into not religious in the sense of conventional religions, are really superstitious. And you've got Blavatsky and Theosophy and all that occult shit that the World War II bad guys were into, right in the FSB. And here in America, we had Michael Flynn, and I wish that I knew where the video was right now, because he's repeating the same prayer that some crazy cult leader in the 1970s and 80s was speaking, and she was a theosophy cult leader, and there's probably some Russian connections there. So it's
Interesting.
deep.
That the space ark found in Ukraine is activating and US military authorities were ready to go in to investigate is very telling in terms of why Russia chose to intervene now. Even more astounding is his prediction that the Ukrainian ark will eventually begin flying into the air. Indeed, with the world's attention currently on Ukraine, a flying space ark will instantaneously become a global event of profound significance. On February 26, during my What's Coming in 2022 webinar, I publicly revealed for the first time what JP had told me about the Ukrainian space ark. I subsequently received important corroborating information from Thorhan Eregian, a fleet commander of the Galactic Federation of Worlds.
Oh,
His
she's
relay
insane. Yeah.
2 days after the webinar, Elena relayed to me the following information from Thorhan about Russia's military intervention into Ukraine and the deep state's
Thor,
involvement.
man. I mean,
Thor.
come up with a fucking more original name at least. Fuck.
Oh my god.
Former archaeologist.
Yeah.
He
She dug up
Former archaeologist
supplies.
forehand.
Yeah. She became, the spirit came within me. Oh, that sounded wrong. but
Oh
you know what
my.
I mean.
Giggity.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
And it gets even better because Russia supposedly has a space ark of its own, and they're invading Ukraine with tanks built in the 1950s.
Oh,
What?
this is not
Yeah, they have space ark, but yet they're using 1950s technology.
invasion of
Yeah.
Ukraine, but part of the cleansing operations. The deep state was attempting to activate the ark, which they had found many years ago, buried underneath the sand in the lower southern part of Ukraine. The ark activated, so it was time Putin got his hands on it. There is a second ark in the north of Russia, but Putin already has control of it. End quote. Thorhan's information corroborated what JP had been told about 2 space arks found in the region, one in Russia and another in Ukraine. It's very significant that the deep state has had a strong influence over Ukraine since 2014 and was attempting to activate the space ark found in a sandy region of southern Ukraine.
What makes me
Yeah.
laugh is, right, how the fuck can Putin have control of this space ark, but he hasn't even got control of his own fucking army? They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
He hasn't got control of his own fucking
Always
bowels,
brain.
probably.
And you notice the propaganda, right? The deep state, the enemy of supposed I guess fucking idiots, is controlling everything.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, I just would love to know who they are. Everyone, like all these conspiracy people and whatever, they all say they. Who the fuck are they? Sometimes they are NASA. Well, NASA's hasn't been around forever, or they are the Illuminati, the Illuminati haven't been around forever, or they are the government, well, governments haven't been around forever. Well, do you know what I mean? Who the fuck are they? I want to know who they are. Oh, sorry,
I don't even think they know who the fuck they are. So, like, you ain't gonna work
it
out.
sort of makes
They
it
ain't
rather
got fucking
frustrating
clue.
sometimes. I'm sorry.
All I know is they're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Exactly, trees. They are.
Well,
them.
in the world of conspiracy theories, and yes, I want to answer Alan yes, there are people who believe this shit. There are totally people who believe this shit. They love not the truth, and they've fallen for a strange delusion. Everyone on the shills, Skits hasn't been on the channel as long as Mippet or I or Jutmonk have. He used to debunk this kind of stuff and just point and laugh at it all the time. And yeah, there are people who genuinely believe stuff that you have to wear face palm protection because you'll be hitting yourself in your head. And I have to load that clip from Naked Gun 33.5
Yes.
where
Oh,
Fred
The whole
Trevin
audience
makes
are
the
just smacking their
entire
head.
audience smack themselves in the head. Yeah.
classic.
Oh. But I just don't understand how stupid people can be. But then again, you've got the younger generation are burning books because they've got a word in it that they don't like. Okay, if there's a word in it that you don't like because younger readers might get a hold of it, fucking don't put it in their library. You don't need to fucking burn the books and rip it out of every fucking, bookstore and what have you. It's beyond ridiculous. So you've got the ridiculous side of one end, and then you've got the ridiculous side. We're the only fucking normal people here. Do you realize that?
Yeah. So
And that's
everyone
scary as
on
shit
this
because I'm
panel.
weird.
Yep. Actually, like in America, get this. In state of Florida, there's a YouTuber by the name of, the YouTube channel is Telltale. And he has multiple channels, but Owen is awesome. And he was talking about how like they're using these parental rights bills to basically get rid of books because the little kiddies might get offended, or more, the parents might get offended. So someone decided that the book 1984 was a pro-communist book. And then they got it out of they got it out of the public libraries of Florida, to the best of my knowledge, state universities. They just accused it of being, they call it woke, and then they call it communist. And even though the book is anti-communist, they're removing it from there. And oh God, I wish I had those particular quotes available. It's when Winston
we had to do that as
describes his wife.
Yeah, we
His
had to do that.
ex-wife.
We had
I'm
to do
sorry,
that like
finish.
at school as like a book report. We had to read it and do a book report on it.
Yeah.
It's Jesus Christ.
It's one of those keystone books that like almost everybody
Everyone
has to read, and it's a good thing.
Okay. That's why we're all deluded, obviously.
I remember Winston talks about his ex-wife, how she would basically swallow any imbecility that, as long as the party fed it to her. He said, I'm paraphrasing because I don't have the exact quote, she had a noble face, and behind it was the most vulgar, vacant mind, and there was absolutely nothing behind it. And she would swallow any imbecility that was given to her by the party. That's a paraphrase. But then
So
you
she was-
realize she was a fucking idiot.
I was going to say she'd swallow anything.
No.
Sorry, that gave me a pretty crappy picture in my head. Ew. Well, I guess she's swallowing mistakes if she's doing it to flat earthers. So, yeah.
And then when they're talking about Newspeak, and I forget the name of the character, but he says, did you know that Newspeak was the only language that gets smaller every year? Then he basically describes how they basically butcher the meanings of words. And
I don't know what a dictionary is.
and that's
Gosh.
what we have here. Well, that's what we have all over the world. America's, a prime example of it. Now, there are people on the panel who are not Americans and people in the chat who are not Americans in all likelihood. It's just you know how people mutilate those poor little words. Let's continue.
Oleshki Sands. On March 1st, Forehand revealed more about the buried Ukraine space ark. Quote, Putin has his hands on the other ark in the north of Russia, and he has been taught by positive extraterrestrials how to use this technology. It is information without
Tanks from the 1950s, everyone.
consequence, because this ark in North Russia is secured and in good hands, contrarily to the Ukrainian ark, which, through to this day, March 1st, 2022, is in the hands of the Earth Alliance. It is still fought for by the deep state military based in the south of Ukraine near the ark, buried in the sand. End
Oh
quote.
my
Four
God.
hands in-
Wow.
Who the fuck buried it anyway, and why? Why
Well,
is it buried?
It's a bit like, the Ark of the Covenant, I guess.
Right?
Yeah, isn't it nice and neat inside that cave, right? And how the fuck they get it in there?
Will your face melt if you look at it?
Wouldn't you have a cloak if you were, if you're that advanced? Wouldn't you have a cloaking technology so that no one would see it?
I'm not being funny, but if you was that advanced, why the fuck would you come to planet Earth? We've barely crawled out of a fucking cave. You know what I mean? We're still burning fossil fuels. I
Right.
bet they didn't use fossil fuels to get here. You know what I mean? So what, they're going to come here and go, oh, look, they still use radio and fucking coal. Now let's move on. Or, no, let's bury our fucking ark.
Arcs, plural.
I have a theory on why they came here, right? You notice that whenever you hear someone talking about how they were abducted, they were probed. And the Russian government, in order to motivate the Mobics to fight, is literally shoving metal objects at people's butts. And the aliens came here to learn from us.
I usually got to pay extra for that.
Let's continue.
Corroborates what JP had been told about Russia's control over a space ark found in its own territory. By March 2nd, Russia had defeated the Ukrainian military and had gained full control over Kherson, including Oleshki Sands National Nature Park. Kherson is the first Ukrainian city to fall to the Russian military, which is highly significant given claims of an ancient space ark found in the nearby Oleshki Sands. The discovery of a space ark that is activating under Oleshki Sands provides an understanding of why Russia has decided to militarily intervene in the Ukraine civil war that has been ongoing since 2014.
So, right, you're calling it a space ark, but it's found in a fucking stand.
Behind the scenes to motivate.
Fuck is wrong with you?
I had to do that because there's something wrong with him.
Oh, grubbies.
Continue.
Go on, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're calling it a space ark, but they found it under the sand. I mean, surely it'd be a sand ark. It's like you found it buried in the sand, but it must have come from space. Don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's bollocks.
Gasp.
Exactly. They rolled over the Russian army. Oh, and Ukraine is basically, they have a bridgehead near Oleshki Sands. Well, near Oleshki, and they're taking their territory back, which is absolutely marvelous.
Well, there's a little place called Sandefjord in Norway where I used to live, and they've got it's a what do they call them? It's a ship, obviously. It's not an ark, it's a ship. Do you know? I cannot think of the fucking word. What were they? The ones, the Scandinavians. They were the Vikings. That's it, Viking ship, and that's buried under the under this field, and it's like just a mound, and no one can see it. It's just a hill, but everyone says like, oh yeah, it's a Viking ship buried under there, and it's like, well, how do you know? Without digging it up. No one's dug it up. They just say it's there. But I mean, they don't claim that it's come from space. They just sort of say it's fucking, yeah.
Exactly. They do it by a lot of like X-ray stuff, don't they?
They have ground penetrating radar, and
that's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. But no one claims it's anything other than just a Viking ship. Oh, it's got to be a fucking space ark then, because it's buried, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean,
what I say. How do they know that the Viking boat wasn't a fucking space boat that landed there? If they believe this other thing is a space fucking faring vessel, then why not the Viking fucking ship thing?
Yeah.
Because
sorry, just
they
turning
don't
it around.
have their heads shoved up their asses.
Yeah.
Fuck me. God knows what's buried out. I mean, we've got space arcs and fucking. I mean, what else could you find that would be better than actually finding a space arc? And when you found it, I mean, how the fuck would you know it was from space?
Exactly.
You wouldn't, would you? You just find something buried under the sand. You wouldn't go, oh, it's got to come from outer space.
And where's the Russian?
Because I found it buried underground.
Sounds
so
legit.
where was the Russian one found? Was that like under the ice in Siberia or something?
They said the north of Russia, which the north of Russia is maybe about 3% of the planet.
Right.
Yeah, so Siberia-ish.
Right.
Yeah. So it'd be under like, or in a glacier of some sort, or buried under tons and fucking tons of dirt and ice and all that sort of shit, yeah?
And then how does a spaceship, right, that's designed for space, basically 1 atmosphere, or if the aliens are heavy breathers, 2 atmospheres, how does it take the weight of tons and tons and tons of shit? Question mark.
Makes
I
wonder,
think
doesn't it?
Futurama did a bit on that where they were plunging their spaceship under the sea, and they're like, so how much pressures can this take? And they're like, well, since it's a spaceship, between 0 and 1.
Yep.
Oh, and that's actually not true, because you figure a Coke can, right? A Coke can take 1 atmosphere of pressure. Can it take 1 atmosphere of pressure from? I mean, not one atmosphere. I'm trying to remember the sea lab that they have in the Miami Keys. It's pressurized to the pressure of a soda cans. This is the one that the NASA astronauts use to train in. So you pop a soda, right? And there's the carbonation doesn't come out. The cans are designed to hold pressure in. They're not designed to keep pressure out. So something that holds pressure in is using the tensile strength of the material, whereas trying to keep pressure out, completely different direction of force.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's interesting. So you can take your can of Coke underwater and pop it, and all your Coke wouldn't go flying out.
Because it's at the same pressure.
Yeah, if you're at the same pressure, yeah.
Equalizes out, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Hooray for physics.
Hooray
that I wouldn't miss my Coke.
there are videos on YouTube where they basically put hot water inside pressure inside tanker trucks and inside tanker cars on trains. And then they close them, and as the water cools down, the atmosphere crushes these huge things made of steel, which can hold, like they can hold pressurized natural gas or they can hold propane. But you just put hot water in it, close it up, let the hot water cool down, and the atmosphere just crushes it.
Russia to intervene in a civil war that was essentially frozen as a result of a lack of progress on implementing the Minsk Agreement signed by Russia, France, Germany, Ukraine, and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. While some claim that the Ukrainian army was preparing a lightning military campaign to retake the contested Donetsk and Lugansk administrative regions of Ukraine, others claim that US-sponsored biolabs were the real target of the Russian attack.
You know what's interesting, right? Every hospital has a lab that they use to identify pathogens. Every college has a lab that they use to identify pathogens. And the pathogens that they do have in there are extremely susceptible to antibiotics. Like you'll have a sample of E. coli that you can actually order these germs in books, in catalogs, and any antibiotic will kill it. Viruses are a whole nother story, but you have labs where they have samples of pathogens just so that they can test for what kind of bug people have. That a germ warfare lab does not make.
While these are plausible scenarios, neither one adequately explains why Russia conducted a full-scale military intervention from 3 directions after 8 years of sitting on the sidelines.
Oh yeah, nothing can explain why they had their offensive from 3 fucking directions,
I was
diluting
going to
their
say 3
strength.
directions.
And that they basically did everything that you shouldn't do. You concentrate if they wanted to take the country, right? They should have taken all that shit in the Donetsk, all that shit in the
So
Crimea, and brought it to Kyiv.
my theory is they got into their space ark and there was a holographic dude that popped up and said, you've got to get into Ukraine and you've got to take it all because I said so, and you've got to hit them from 3 sides. I'd be closer to that'd be closer to the actual reason than what they've probably come up with.
Seems legit.
Yeah. Simple yet elegant.
There's a YouTuber by the name of Thunderfoot. And you
Yes.
should totally check out his channel. He's an excellent debunker. Some of his early stuff is a little bit rough and not PC for today, but he's grown since then. But he's an excellent debunker and he uses science and mathematics. But he's also has a keen eye for what just makes sense. And he broke down what a giant clusterfuck this entire plan was and why this entire plan here that they had here is the absolute worst thing that Russia could have done for itself. As Operator Starsky says, thank God we are blessed to fight idiots. Oh, no, he said imbeciles.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Discovery of a buried space ark and Russia's desire to take full control of it offers a more compelling explanation for Russia moving in and taking over Ukrainian territory far from the contested Donetsk and Lugansk regions. Russia's rapid takeover of Kherson is powerful circumstantial evidence that supports the revelations of JP and Thorhan about an ancient space ark found under the Oleshki Sands National Nature Park, and that this was the decisive factor in Russia's surprise military intervention into Ukraine. This has been Dr. Michael Sala with exopolitics.org. I wish to thank JP and Elena Dinan for passing on their information about the Ukraine Ark.
Thorhan.
Yeah, because they are so credible. We need to thank them.
So at least we know why the war started now. It's nothing to do with Nazis, anything like that being in Ukraine. It's all to do with this fucking arc. Putin, obviously, Russia, well, they did win the space race. It's just that fucking America kept moving the goalpost, didn't they? You know what I mean? But
That's kind of what we do.
Obviously, he's just thinking, right, okay, well, I'm going to get my first space arc, and hopefully, I can, trump the moon landings by space arcing it all the way. Yeah,
We found our own space arc.
We have this special military operation.
And this
American
stuff
space
gets
arc would have
even
blackjack.
more.
Sorry.
And hookers.
And okay, thank you.
I have to make the
Where?
Futurama reference because we are all fans of it.
Thank you.
I just want to know where the hookers are. Someone brought up hookers.
Monkey.
Well, neither one
behave.
of those are hookers.
Can I crack another beer?
Oh, God. Well, I would just like to just go into the chat a moment and say hi to Alan Watkin. How you doing? Hey, MJ, great to see you here. Godless Sewing, you were the first in. How you doing? Look at the trees. I just want to say he's got some interesting things, obviously, about mushrooms that we were talking about earlier on his channel. I can't drop the link because, yeah, that's too much for me to handle right now. But if you get in touch with me on Discord, I'm going to have to get commanded to make a Discord server so we can get some links and be able to drop links for everybody. So sorry about that. Who else have we got
I have
here?
to do that.
Yes, you do.
Does that work? I don't know.
Okay, I think I've sort of got everyone. But yes, thank you all for coming. It's been awesome. So I'd just like to make sure that everyone's welcome. And this has been great fun.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. And
you
this
guys
stuff.
Sorry.
And this stuff does get even more and more ridiculous. I have to chop up Stephen Greer's bullshit into digestible chunks and possibly at some point in the future do another stream with that. But it's like anyone with any sense about how physics works can tell Greer is full of shit. Stephen Greer is the idiot that is supplying the idiots in Congress with their UFO idiocy.
So much idiocy.
Yeah, unfortunately, we live in
Idiocracy was supposed to be an entertaining movie, not prophecy.
Right?
Yeah, not reality. But anyway, there's a lot of
All
people
right, everyone. Finish what you're going to say, Mivit.
I was just going to say there's a lot of people out there that seem to take the movies as the truth. I don't understand that. Like The Matrix. We're all in the Matrix. Or what's the
I'd
dude
like to
in the
kill
dome?
the person who came up with that movie.
Oh,
It put so many people down the fucking rabbit hole.
For real.
Oh yeah, but people believe some people believe anything that they're told, and they live in fear. I mean, what a fucking stupid way to live.
Right?
But anyway, that's just my opinion. Sorry.
was you on about the Truman Show?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the other one, The Truman Show. The Truman Show, The Matrix, and there's a couple of others that they reference. And
Yeah,
it's just...
I literally watched the Truman Show the other day.
It's a cool movie.
It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it has so much relevance to reality, with regards to the shape of our planet.
Oh, it's a fucking documentary. It's a documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's fucking real. That shit is real.
And for those who don't know, again, we used to sit around and point and laugh at Flat Earth, and all those movies were cited by the people who have their heads shoved up their backsides in regards to reality. So, hi Beck, how you doing?
Beck.
Beck, how you doing?
Trees.
Tree.
That's what it said. Get in there. What the Beck? Yeah, Truman Show is another good one, MJ. It's a banging film.
Yeah, see, I liked all the Matrix movies.
I liked the first one, but I thought it just got a bit weird after that.
I agree.
Well, you know, I'm an Australian. I am weird, so just deal with it, monkey.
I'm a monkey, and I'm even fucking weirder.
He throws poo at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monkey
I just burn
is
everyone.
awesome.
It's okay.
Monkey is awesome. In fact, I wish that I could curse like Monkey. I really do. He takes it to an art form.
Yeah, but the problem is
Nice.
when you fucking go off on one on these backward thinking, globe denying fucksticks, you end up getting kicked off of fucking platforms where they just can't handle the fucking heat. What can you do? Except sing songs and fucking curse some more.
Send the heat my way.
Yeah.
Smoke 2
I
joints
love
and then I
heat.
smoke 2 joints.
Fucking big fat joint.
Then I smoke 2 more.
Oh, hey, Ox.
Oh, we got an ox
How
in the
you doing,
house. Hey,
Ox?
ox. Blame skits. It's a good. Yeah.
It's a
I recommend
good
it.
point. Oh, dear.
Go on, play some more of this fucking bell end and let's see where he's going.
That was the end of
I
it.
think we're getting.
Oh, that was the end
close
of it,
to
was
the
it?
end, though.
Yeah.
Just
More
as well.
about UFOs and what's coming in 2022 and beyond, I
Oh.
recommend my February 26th webinar, which is now available on Vimeo. Please remember to like and subscribe to my
No, don't subscribe to that douchebag.
No, because trust me, it's going to be shit. It is going to be the biggest pile of fucking underwear stacked up this side of Mombasa.
Oh, I need to get my poop emoji thing set up on my set.
Fucking hell. Look at the trees, is getting high as fuck by the looks of it.
Word.
Yeah, it's the only way. I've only got a beer here, but that'll do.
Yeah, I've just got to remember to mute when I'm having a bong. So
Yeah, I know. I've heard you hitting the bong a couple of times already.
I know. It's like, oh shit, I got to mute.
I do want to. I hope I have the right. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's
hit them buttons.
No, that. I had.
My last video was an instructional video on how to stop and work destroy a thief. All too easy.
Kill them all, Commander. Kill them all.
But you know, where there's orcs, there's trolls. And we're gonna stop them too. See, thing about trolls and orcs is they're pretty much all incels. They have this mind virus that causes them to think like this. What's wrong with me? Why don't people like me? Why can't I get laid? I support the kleptocratic clowns in the Kremlin and their gargoyles, whose mercenary armies are named after Hitler's favorite composer, and the only people in the West who like me are incels, like Nick Fuentes and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I smell like feces, and the Ukrainians seem to be getting all the hot chicks right now. It has nothing to do with me. It's because of those damn liberals. I support kidnapping people and killing people for no damn good reason. Why won't any women sleep with me? And I would have gotten away with it too if not for that meddling NATO. Yeah,
And
it
here's a
does
real
get that
Russian
stupid.
troll.
Here's a picture of the front page of the YouTube channel of the little troll that inspired this video. He has a video on how he pleasures himself, video on how he dresses up in cosplay in riot gear, supposedly just to get arrested, and how he takes political advice from a Syrian dictator. Wow, dude, you're really gonna get laid like this? And oh look, he only has 11 subscribers. I got more subscribers than that from the last video. But the most common complaint amongst the trolls is that
I'll cut it off there, but I basically went from there because the accusation of Nazi to basically singing songs in Hebrew.
I'm just trying to figure out the connection there.
It's a natural transition.
You might
Well,
see.
in the video where that guy with the machine gun came from, a lot of Russian trolls were accusing me of being a Nazi, and I can sing songs in Hebrew. Literally, the way the Russians gaslight the Ukrainians aggravates post-traumatic stress disorder with me.
Yeah, because I totally associate you, Commander, with a Nazi.
Yeah. How fucking stupid can someone be? But
Seriously.
anyway, yeah. It's ridiculous. But, you know, you find people on the internet that are fucking ridiculous, unfortunately.
Like there's like a test out there or something, or like I forget what it's called, but like how quickly an argument can be is reduced down to you're Hitler.
Godwin's law, and the
Thank you.
first one to invoke Godwin's law is usually, most of the time, the most full of crap.
Fair enough.
Most of the time. It's not all of the time, because when you're dealing with an actual World War II bad guy, that
Sorry, I gotta watch my
then it's
terminology.
It's all right. We're coming up on an hour. Does anyone have anything that they want to shell out? Because I know Mippet said she had to go.
Yes, I've got to pop on, and we're over on Claire's channel for What the Fuckery. So, yeah, come and join us over there if you want to. And yes, I'm going to be probably laughing my ass off and swearing a lot. So
Singing to us, maybe? You're going to sing us a song?
Oh no, you really don't want that, monkey. Trust me on that.
Oh, see, I love it when people sing. When you people sing, you know, it's fucking great. I mean, like, there's a song in everything, isn't there? You know, you can find a song.
Oh, I sing what I
everywhere.
do all the time. You know, as I'm walking around, it's like, take my cup to the sink, turn on the water, you know, shit like that I do all the time.
Unroll the toilet roll, wipe my fucking anus hole.
Not quite that bad. Yeah. I mean, when I had my ferrets, I'd sing to them.
You see what I'm saying? There is a song in fucking everything.
Well, exactly.
I mean, you can there's even a song about that. There's a song in everything. Tra la 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 la. See?
Oh, you're not mistaking when you say there's a song in everything. When you sing something, you remember it better. And when you get like a language, the Ukrainian and Hebrew actually have some things in common. They're very musical languages. There's different words which sound kind of different that you can use to make something sound a lot more melodic. This happens when a language is suppressed for years on end, and it's left in the hands of the scholars and the poets and stuff. And you can be sitting in the synagogue and listening to basically someone singing about how Korach and all of his people were swallowed by the earth, or where they basically died after biting into the fowl that landed on the ground. And they're singing about horrible things, but it sounds lovely.
As long as it sounds lovely, then it's obviously
If
a
you
song.
don't understand what they're saying, it sounds lovely.
Yeah.
You should listen to Latin singing. It's like, oh, that's a great song. Oh, it's about killing everybody in a horrible way.
Anyway, sorry guys, I do got a buzz, so I will catch you all later on.
Bye.
Later then.
Bye.
Fucking
Does anyone else
rocking.
have anything? Oh, go check out Monkey.
Can check me out.
He's awesome. Go check out his channel. You have not lived until you have heard how he takes down the stupid.
Nice. Is there a link there? You can put up there, Monk.
I'm trying to find it.
I will find you a link. I tell you what, whoever gets the link out first can sing a song.
Woo!
Oh, look, there you go.
I'm gonna go to my subscriptions and then find you, copy a link, and try to post it. Boy, I'm collecting subscriptions like mad. I need to stop.
Yeah, I don't know how I suddenly got like.
I think it dropped you for some reason.
Say again.
You know. Oh wait, I didn't click all. You're here.
Ah, sneaky.
You would be one of the first. So, okay. I'm gonna go to your last video. I'm going to share, copy link, then go back to my channel.
Well, all I can say is I
Go
think
into the chat.
Maybe not. Maybe I didn't pull it off. I thought I pulled it off, but I realised that was my penis in my hand.
You know, potato.
I just posted a link to Monkey's channel.
Oh, I'm already subscribed. Hurrah for me. Oh.
And if you go down to my channel and you see Mippet Takes Flight or Mippet Get Well, link to her channel will be in the description. So that's cool. And since I found it, I get to sing. And
we're
Let's
waiting.
hear it.
I'm just gonna say, good night, everybody. This song sucks. I have no idea what I was gonna say. Please have a great night. And please like, share, and subscribe. And tomorrow, have a wonderful day.
Fucking brilliant. Come on, everybody. That was absolutely
Love
wonderful.
it. Fantastic. If you could hear me clap through my filter, you would hear.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.